Welcome to Readings from the Animal Kingdom with Kareema from Pet Care Magic. I'm an animal communicator, a Reiki master who specialises in animals, and an intuitive psychic. And I like to combine all of those modalities into channeling messages from the animal kingdom for myself and for others. We live within a community of not only people, but a community of many, many wild animals, as well as many domesticated animals. You might have dogs or cats or fish or birds or rats or mice or whatever in your home, tarantulas if that's the sort of animal you love in your home. But then there's also a huge number of animals outside of your home, from big to small, up in the sky, down in the earth, even under the earth, in the trees, right around us. And all of those animals at any particular point in time may or may not have a message for you. And I'm going to invite you through these readings done every week on a Sunday, hopefully, to listen to that message, take what resonates for you, and open up your way of thinking over the following week into how that message does or doesn't fit into your life. It's okay if it doesn't. It's okay if only some of it does. That is 100% up to you. The animal kingdom has no egos. They don't mind. They just hang around out there, and if they're given an opportunity to communicate a message, they will. Each week will have a particular theme to it. Before I start the reading, I will meditate on what animal I think has the overarching message for that week. And I will then choose which of the numerous animal-themed decks I have to work out which deck I will be using for that reading. This is a reading from the Animal Kingdom for the week of the 13th to the 19th of November. And the animal energy that most reached out to me when I was setting up for this reading is that of the tiger. I'm reading today from Scott Alexander King's World Animal Dreaming Oracle cards. And these cards have quite a lot of wild animal energy as well as domesticated animal, but it's a little bit more on the wild animal side. And it seems to me that that's the sort of feeling I'm getting for this week. I'll invite you now to click pause on the video, look at the card A, B and C, and jot down either in the comments below or on a piece of paper, wherever you think is appropriate, which card resonates most for you. This is not something you have to do within seconds. It might take you a couple of minutes. At this point, you might walk away and say, I'm not going to do this today. That's all very fine. But is it A, B, or C that most calls to you? Once you've decided whether it's A, B, or C card that most calls to you, move via the chapter location to the card that you chose and view the reading. Card A is the Puma, or the leadership card. I don't pay a lot of attention always to the notification that Scott puts on his cards, but in this case leadership does apply. So the Puma card is a fairly solitary animal. They are a very wise animal, and they tend to look from above, a higher distance up above us, and they look down. So the question that the Puma is asking you is, are you exhibiting enough leadership? If you are, then that's great. Congratulations. If you're not, then it's asking you to have a little think about how maybe you could be taking on more of a leadership role within your family or your community or your job. They, as I said, are a very solitary animal, and they do understand that in a leadership role that you often are somewhat solitary. It's very, very hard to be both the leader and the best friend. And they understand that. You'll often find them out within their native habitat, sort of up high, looking down. And they have that particular ability to look down on their surroundings, to take an overview of what's going on, rather than some of the other animals that are more ground-based, who tend to take more of a view of being in the weeds rather than looking above it. So the other message that Puma is going to give you today is go above your situation. Just take a moment to go up above and look back down on your situation and see whether you get better insights about what's going on than you were getting when you were down and being in it. So get out of the moment, maybe take yourself off to somewhere a little bit solitary and have a little think about how you could sit above your situation and that might give you clearer insights into what's going on for you. Card B is the Jackal, or the Death card. And before you all panic, death in the animal kingdom, in fact, death in any of the psychic realms, is more about change than it is about the actual death of something. Unfortunately, in the animal world, sometimes it can, for those who are struggling with end-of-life issues with a loved companion, it may be just a forewarning that that is getting closer. But again, time is an interesting concept in the animal world. It's not time within the next 5 minutes or time within the next hour or days or even this week. It's time in a much broader sense. If you take the fact that this card may have come out because you're struggling with end-of-life issues with a very much loved older companion, and that's sort of sitting in my head, I'm getting a picture of a white fluffy dog, a small white fluffy dog. I don't know whether that resonates for any of you that is struggling. It could be that the Jackal cards come out to say, be prepared. This is coming soon, and you need to start saying your goodbyes and being prepared. Or alternatively, it could be saying it is a time of change for you. Often that's what death means in the psychic realm. It means change is happening, and often there's change happening at the end of the year for a lot of people. Some people are in jobs that terminate at the end of the year, or there's big changes coming in terms of even simplistic things like schools are breaking up, and therefore there's change within your household. So it's more about being prepared for a change that is coming than it is about the change being a bad thing. It's just a forewarning card. And the Jackal's saying to you, just get ready. There is change coming within your life. It could be something big. It could also be something small. And it's just notifying you to say that it's time to be aware that change is coming, and it's time to not be surprised by the change, to give a little thought by what that change might be and what that may be in terms of the impact on your life, on your lifestyle, and maybe the impact on your family, or the impact even on your loved companion animals. Maybe you're thinking about moving. Maybe you're in the military and it's the end of the year and you've got to, this is a time in which you move. There's all sorts of reasons why change can be happening. So the Jackal is asking you to give a little thought to how you would manage change that you perceive is imminent for you, maybe at this time of the year, maybe within 2024. We could go into that in a lot more detail in a fuller reading, but in the course of this reading, it's just the overriding theme of change. And interestingly, we've just had the second in a lot of very, very wild animal cards. So that doesn't surprise me when I had the tiger overseeing this whole thing at the very beginning. The third card today, and by no means the least of the cards, is the ant card, which is ant meaning strength. And these poor little insects are the most unappreciated of the animal kingdom, in my opinion, probably only after things like earwigs and all sorts of worms and things. Think about an ant. What can an ant achieve? It can achieve things way and beyond what its size or its capacity would think it could achieve. It's also incredibly good at binding together in groups and achieving something in the group that a single ant alone couldn't achieve. So both of those could resonate with you. Both of those could be, you are capable of much more than you ever thought you could be. You just need to draw down into those reservoirs of strength that you do have and pull them up and assume that you can do it. An ant never says, I can't do this. An ant has never ever been told it can't move a huge piece of whatever from point A to point B. It just gets in there and does it, because it never makes the assumption that it can't do it. And that's the big story for you as the ant. The ant also knows that there is strength in numbers. So if you're struggling with your strength, then go out there and enlist help. Go out there, because there is an army of people. They call an army of ants for a reason. There is an army of people out there that are just waiting to come and help you, but they need to get the signal that you need help. And again, we're in the third of our cards in what has been an overriding, tiger energy and wild animal energy coming up here today. And this is just yet again another one. There has been no domesticated animals coming out in this. And I sort of frankly didn't expect that right at the very beginning. So I hope you draw something from this card And if you've drawn the ant first as the C card and you've gone straight to C, then that is the major message for you. By all means, go back and have a look at the others and see if they resonate with you, but that is the major message for you. Thank you very much for being here with me today. I hope you found this enjoyable. It is for educational purposes only. If you do want a fuller reading, then I do those obviously online, so you can be anywhere in the world. Just go to petcaremagic.com and you will find the link to book a time to have a fuller animal reading. Please like, subscribe and hit the notification buttons if you want to be notified when I do more of these each week. Thank you, and I hope you all have a really great week.